I'm holding this book, and you know what I love about this book? I don't need reading glasses to look at the print. This is just fantastic. I can even hold it this far away and still read the words. Wow. So we have, as always, Ken Plummer, who is with Access Services here, not here, but at Fairfax County Library. And he's always coming and sharing all sorts of interesting things. And one of them is this book, which is James Patterson. So you said this is a really popular one?
Well, Patterson is an extremely popular author. And as you noticed, it was a large print version. So that's always, he's one of the popular authors that the library system is able to buy the large print copy, so a popular author for sure.
So Ken, for those who have been totally in outer space, I guess.
Or new. They could be new residents.
But I would hope that people have heard about Access Library. Let's just talk for a few moments about what is Access Library.
Access Services Library is a branch of the Fairfax County Public Library. Our focus is a little bit different than going to Richard Byrd or going to Kingstown Library. We as a staff really focus on helping and providing library services for those individuals who may have some mobility issues and may not be able to navigate between the parking lot and the service desk at the library. Maybe the doctor has said you really shouldn't be driving anymore. Sometimes these people think that they can no longer participate in the library and use the books and read all the books that the library has, and we at Access Services say, no, we can still provide you with library services.
Now, does every library in the U.S. have an Access branch?
Well, that's a great question. The one program that I'll mention as the Talking Book program is a national program, so libraries would have access to that, or people throughout the country would have that. It depends on budgets and it depends on what they have, but not every library will have the Access Services type of program that we have. Fairfax County is blessed in its way to have that.
And I'm thinking that all you need is a library card to be able to use these services.
All you need is a library card is correct, and even if you have some difficulty getting to that library, we can arrange for you to have your library card. If you can't get into the library card, you can give us a call and we can get you a library card over the phone.
And you can actually even do it here at Green Spring, because I understand you have a seminar coming up in a couple weeks.
Right, on the 26th, Thursday the 26th, we have what's been dubbed library clinics. They're very handy things. You can get cards, as you mentioned. I will certainly be able to talk about the Talking Book programs. And one of the great things we do there is have people. There's a lot of books that you talked about earlier, reading on digital thing on a tablet or on an iPhone. So you can come and learn how to do that, how to download some things so you can get your library books for free onto your iPhone, onto your Android phone or your tablet, and enjoy reading those books right there. Have 10 or 20 books right there on your tablet and enjoy those. So that's something we show one-on-one how to do that, and that'll happen again on Thursday the 26th.
And if I'm having trouble seeing, what can I do? But I still want to read.
Well, there are lots of things that I would suggest trying first. And one, as you pointed out here, is a large print book. Sometimes the print and the size of the font is enough to help you out, particularly if you have good light. Those are the type of things that really make a difference. The size of what you're reading and then the amount of light that you have coming onto your reading surface. Sometimes that can help. But if you have difficulty and it's beyond large print and things like that, that's one of the programs that we have where you can actually get a player that looks like this, and it's the digital talking book machine. And this is where a program where professional actors and actresses will record an entire book. They're not an abridged version, and they will put it onto a cassette, and then you can put the cassette into the machine and actually listen to the entire book. This is very nice because all the buttons, I don't know if you can see, but the buttons are tactile, so each button feels differently. So as you're losing that vision, it will tell you what's going on. Plus the operating instructions are right here in the machine also. So it's quite a fantastic program.
And these are the cassettes that you mentioned. So
Well,
this.
we call them cartridges
Oh,
now,
excuse
not
me.
cassette. That's saying something. We know what cassettes are.
Showing my age. Is that what you're telling me?
A little bit today.
So anyway, so this just plugs into the machine.
It
and
does.
You just go from there.
And this one particularly has 6 titles on it, 6 books right on the on this
Really?
card. Yeah.
Wow.
So, and it goes in, it can only go, it won't go in the incorrect way. Can you see that? But it won't go in this way. So you have a finger hole and you can slide that right in. If I have the machine on, it will play those books.
Player
Let's have it.
unable to perform the software upgrade of the player.
Oh.
Player powering off.
We need to upgrade, but that's all right. So and so residents could come to the seminar on the 26th, or they can just go to a library and say, I want to know more about this, or how do I get one of those?
Right. What will happen is at a regular library, they'll end up calling me or contacting me, and we'll get them hooked up. There's an application that needs to be filled out for the Talking Book program, and you have to have a healthcare worker or a social worker sign that you cannot read regular print. That's like a newspaper. If you get the headache after 5 minutes of reading the newspaper, you would qualify for the program. Or perhaps it's arthritis or Parkinson's where you can't physically hold a regularly printed book, you would be able to get into the program. And we have applications at the seminar, so that'll be a great thing. The other thing I want to talk, if I can, is to make sure people know about the home delivery service we have. The home delivery service we have is for anybody, and I know the library here at Green Spring is being renovated right now, so it's lacking some, maybe able to get some books that you're used to getting. And what you can do with the home delivery service is any book that's on any of the circulating shelves in Fairfax County are able to be sent to you directly through the mail in these blue pouches. And we can put in 6 books in there. We can send them every week. We can send it once every 6 months, whatever you want. As Diane has, you have the postal card that will have your name and address right on it. It goes in this plastic sleeve, and then when you're finished, you have the books, and you put them back in the pouch, and you flip it over, and our address in there, and all you have to do is take it right back down to the front desk. It's a little tricky getting it in there.
It is, and it can give you a look at this. This should be a good one. So you can get audio books.
Whatever circulates from the library. So that would be the large print, regular print books, CDs. I've even sent DVDs out to people.
And then how many weeks do I have to get through all this?
Well, the checkout time is an extended period of time. Normally at the branches, it's 3 weeks, but when we're dealing with the United States Postal Service like this, it automatically goes to 6 weeks. And if it keeps for 10 weeks, we're not going to get too concerned. After 10 weeks, we may give you a call and say, hey, are you finished with that one, or do we need to renew that title? There's no cost for that. You're not going to get assessed any fines. And we cover postage both going to you and the return postage. So it's a free service, just like many things in the library are.
Do I need a doctor or a social worker to sign up?
It would be a call to me, generally, and just kind of a brief idea of why you can't get into your regular library. I don't want people who are playing too much golf or too much tennis to think that this is the way for library books forever. But if you have some kind of difficulty, and a lot of times are from the parking lot even to the service desk, as I was saying, that's a struggle. And you don't want to carry books back out, then you just call and let me know that. We'll set you up. You tell me what kind of books you might like, and we'll send them off to you.
And speaking of some of the books you might like, you have a whole catalog, right?
Well, this goes back to the Talking Book program. These are published every 2 months, and this gives you an idea of what's available, again, for the recorded books that are here. Blindness and low vision can happen for anybody from 6 to 106, so there will be children's material in there and adult material. The adult material is bestsellers, mysteries, romances, whatever you might like to read. There's over 80,000 titles available, and this gives you a bit of a brief idea of what they are. Each title that's listed has a synopsis telling you about that book, so it gives you an idea of what you want to do. A lot of people will have a sighted friend or relative that they sit down and go through the book with, and then they'll call us with all the selections that they would want.
What if I don't know what I want?
What if you don't know what you want? If you have that's a great question. If you have a favorite author, or you remember reading, I have a gentleman who reads the Hardy Boys and wants to reread the Hardy Boys. So he knows that from his past, and he is able to enjoy those. He calls me up and says, I need some more, and so we'll get him Hardy Boy book. So again, if you like an author, you hear something on the television you like, you hear the first segment, you want to go Margaret McMullen and read what that book is. I don't know if that will be recorded, but we can find out and find for you.
How long does it take for a just published book to get into this type of system, like in terms of the talking books or the big print?
Well, that's a great question. And it's changed over the years. It used to be a delay for both either the recorded book or the large print material. Now publishers are publishing, both the large print book and the regular print book at one time. But whether the libraries throughout the country can afford to buy the large print books is what is the deciding factor sometimes. But when you'll get the new books, Crawdad Sings, as Renee was talking about earlier, that came out, but the large print came out a little bit later than that, but the library does have large print copies of that. The recording book, again, it used to be something where it would be a 6 month to maybe a year delay, but because they negotiated particular publishing rights with the authors, with the publishing houses, sometimes those books, again, popular authors like James Patterson, will be available almost the same time as a written book would be.
Well, Ken, I can't believe that we're out of time. We haven't even talked about Friday the 13th. Do they have books about Friday the 13th?
I know there are children's books. I've seen those that talk about Friday the 13th, and I think there are adult books in the regular library that would give a synopsis of all the various things that have happened on Friday the 13th. Would you like me to look for one for you, Diane?
Yes, I think that would be great, and I think Avon would love that. Of course, he probably knows more about that than most people do. So, real quick, once more, the seminar that's coming up is in about 2 weeks?
Yes, on September 26th, Thursday, we're at Hunter's Crossing classroom over there. You can learn more about the talking books. We can demonstrate that for you easily. We can have applications there. Also, you can learn about how to get books downloaded onto your devices, whether they're the tablets or the phones. We'll have somebody there to help you out with that too. And get a library card.
And get a library card. I know, Ken, I was having trouble with my library card, and at the, what was it, the health fair? I think it was one of those expos.
It was the all Green Spring Fair.
Oh, maybe it was the Village Fair.
Village
that's right.
Fair. I think that's
Ken
it,
said,
yeah.
bring me my library card, and I did, and you took care of it, and yay for me. So, always a pleasure, Ken, to have you come on.
Oh, it's always great to talk to you and your community here. It's great. Thank you.
So we'll see you in a couple weeks.